colors are so beautiful. The purples. I love it. This color really creates harmony, doesn't it?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just
One,
feeling that.
what's that?
I was just feeling that sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if it's for all the ladies, for women, or if it's just for us. Well, it works now, so here we go. uh, Today I really enjoyed having the topic in the Russian harmony in the home, where we're speaking about mm, family systems and family dynamics, and about I guess family's money.
Yes.
Like if the woman earns money, it's her money, and if a man earns money, it's family money.
And it's her money too.
And it's well, yeah, of course. what's how do they say? What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
That was one of my vows at my wedding.
Really?
I said,
Wow.
I promised to you that what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. Laughed so much.
Hey, at least you were honest
Yeah.
on your wedding day.
Always,
Good
always.
girl. Good girl. Good girl. So yeah, money and family and women. Again, we're back to this topic. I think in the last episode we also talked about money and women.
Yes. Money.
Wow, that topic is really
Money.
interesting. Very important topic. Yeah, and I guess you were sharing, Gazal, like that you had a post on Instagram and that said that, right?
Yeah.
And then there was different comments from different people having their own views and opinions, and
Oh yeah.
um
I had
yeah.
different opinion actually. Women and men, they are just like, oh yes, 100% agree. Somebody says not. It's this is just it's not the real. What is he's the man is not the slave in the family. They has to be, you know, everything is the same for
But if a
everyone.
man wants to be a slave, then what?
I mean, that's the point, right?
Yes.
Point. Point. Let's talk about point, girls.
Yes, let's talk
Point.
about
What's
let's
the
start
point?
with from the beginning.
Yes,
Point.
that's the point of this
Now,
conversation.
who's right? Who's right? Whose point is
Oh,
right?
no, yours is not right. Mine is right. You're wrong. So I'm right.
Yeah, meaning that you're wrong and I'm right. Right?
Well, actually, none of you are right. I'm right. You know, this morning, my man sent me a joke, and well, he said this isn't joke, but it's not a joke, and it said in every marriage and relationship, there's always one person that's right, and the other one is the husband.
Yeah. I know.
Perfect.
Or we have only two rules.
Yeah.
I'm right, and rule number two, if I'm wrong, look at rule number one.
I love that.
I love it. I personally really enjoyed, Ghazal, the way you were speaking about the family systems, and just I think this is like just so your topic. I love the way you ask questions. I love the way you comment and how you, I don't know, expand the conversation. So I'm just gonna give it to you. And yes, and now take it away. Let's talk about this.
Again, like I shared before, that video actually, it was so much I mean, so many different comments. And when I talked to the one guy and say, this is not true. Why men has to do everything? What about woman? It's not trust there. If it's not trust, then it's like, I like listen. I say, okay, if you have the rule in your family, that will work. it can work for me, but will my rules and what we do, it will not work for somebody else. So I always say you have to have your rules in your family and just go on, right? And just use it. Because I really like, Aliyah, when you shared the story about you, how in your life, how many different families, I mean, you were in a different family system, right? Can you share that? Because that is really very powerful and it just shows how it works for one person,
Sure.
actually, for you.
Mhm. Yes. So I was growing up with mom and dad who whose dynamic was that dad was an entrepreneur and he made lots of money. So he just kept giving my mom like just cash, right? At the time it was cash. So he was just putting a whole bunch of cash. And like whenever she needed something, if she wanted to buy a car, he gave her some more money. And whenever she wanted to go buy something else or take us on vacation, he just gave her extra money. Like he always put money in the account. There was no, there was none of that, like, oh, I spent this much or that much. Like she just said, oh, I need, 20,000 more. He's like, okay. So he just goes and gets her more, takes it from the business and gives it to her. And then I got married for the first. We have to
It's so funny how it
laugh
lights you up every time you say it.
She can laugh about
because
that
it was
now.
just like it was just so, because I was shocked. I was like, even when I was growing up with my parents, I never had an allowance, but every time I needed something, I'd walk over and get something. But then other times I would ask my dad, like I would help out. Let's say I would make coffee and he would give me an allowance. So I always wanted to work for my money. See, programming is already from there. And so for me to be in a relationship to where I had to bring a receipt for $5 and
Oh,
just like, and it was just like, what world am I living in? So it was quite an experience where he had all of the money. And although the money we were receiving, both of us, for like we had a stipend as students, he would take all of the money and he would give me only €5 or €10 for whatever, however much I needed it. To me, that was a shock. Then I lived by myself. So I learned how to make money, spend money, always spent money, and never knew where the money went because I'm a spender. And then I met my man. And when I met him, he had a very different dynamic to where everything was equal with his family, and they were telling each other where they spent and how they spent money and so on. They had one account where everything was together. But then his dad was more responsible for the money than mom. And then I started kind of playing around different variations of how I wanted the money. In the beginning, we wanted it together. And then at some point I said, I'd like to have separate bank accounts. And he's like, well, that's weird. And then, and then all of the friends and family from his side are like, well,
free
if you
advisors.
separate
Yeah.
the group of advisors got together and they said, if you separate your funds, you might as well get a divorce because that's where it's going.
You're doomed.
But literally, we wanted some freedom. So now we're at a point where he's paying for all of the bills. I make whatever I make. I spend on whatever I want. If I want to give back to the family, I want to buy gifts, I do that. And yeah, so to me, it was never like it has to be this way. Everybody has to come up with what works for them. What do they want to accomplish? Um, that's
So
our
interesting. From your story, what I hear, you can create your own system which works for you exactly. Like you tried like
That lights are up.
yeah,
Good.
and like trying different system. You just taking, it's like innovation, girls. Like innovation, you just
Mm.
create your own style and which will work for you. It's not about, oh, it worked for my parents and I will do the same. something will work. So you just take the piece what works for you and you just create something what is good for you. That's what you can do, right? That's nice. I like that. Just idea. Yeah, and Paulina, you have also the story about with your man. How do you handle that part in your relationship?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yes. So there's another way how you can play the game of money with the man, like with my, and I've never had this before. This is something that we've, like you said, created. We designed it together. It
Mm.
came, and he never had it that way. It came out of our connection. So he's a manager type. So he is almost like an accountant, and his father was an accountant. So he grew up um, just knowing how to count money. But he's also a spender, a big one. Yeah, and so am I. But somehow we found the system where we are both reliable with the money. And so when I spend something, I want to tell him so that we can measure the money that's moving in and out. And that's what we learned also in Sage, is that you have to pay attention to the money and the way it's moving, and not for the sake of, oh, can I spend it or not. It's more like, okay, when did the money move, when did it move out, where is it going, where is it coming from, and we're just consistently aware of the movement of the money. And it's a completely different feeling. There's no right or wrong around money. It's just knowing how the money is moving.
Mhm. Interesting. And
Yeah.
also, yeah, that's how to say, the when a man and woman as a couple, right? That we call them power couple. And like you said, you are observing what's going on with money, and you are together actually seeing and designing that and see, oh, okay, what we do for bringing more money, right? Because like two-person, they are look each other and they have each, like women, they have one way to seeing any situation. Men seeing different way because they are more, how to say, how to make money. They know how to make money. We don't have to tell them. We have to tell them how much we want, but we
Yes.
don't have to tell them what to do because that is their function, right? Not woman
Yeah.
function. We have to just be the muse and say, hey, I just wanted this. How we can get it? Just, oh, okay, I know. That's it. We're just giving that. And Aliyah, your girls lighting up on that. Very good.
Yeah.
I was just imagining. I want a Rolls Royce. I want a Rolls.
Okay,
Okay,
honey.
okay. There
Once.
it is. Thank you. Not red one, white one.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no one that.
Uh,
So that's when you're a power couple, you just creating that money movement, right? Because this way, when together, men and women, like our trainer, used to tell, he's always telling, when the couple and you are looking at each other and you look after each other, because I can see in front, I cannot see in my back. But when you're together, you can see all spectrum, right? What's going on.
Mhm.
So this way we can protect each other, we can help each other with that. So, but the end, I really want to ask another question, because it's always like how much money you can spend without asking your partner, oh, can I spend or not? It's like $10, $100, $1,000. Any idea about that? Do you have any suggestion?
Like, I can only say for me, it's just whatever we agree on. Um, just yeah, it's whatever we agree on. Let's see, yeah. I actually have an amount, but I'm not gonna say it. It's a secret. We couldn't give everything away here.
Okay, yeah.
But
Okay.
we do. That's a great question. We do have an amount that we can spend without checking in with each other. And we actually have that monies in our pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good.
then if it's more than that, and then
Okay.
we replenish that money in our pockets. So that is a specific amount that we both need to have in our pocket. Everything else is in the account. And then if you want to spend something more than that, then you check in.
Yeah, and I just want to say that when you create your own system in your family, because you cannot like say this is right, this is wrong, like we said at the beginning, right? Like, oh, point, like I'm right, you're wrong, but you can create your own system and see what works for you. And it's much easier. Believe me, that will bring you harmony in your home, no headache, and everybody will be happy. And I think we can give even little tips, right? So if it's men watching us, so bring the money and it will make your woman very happy because we love money. Right? So, like,
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
any other tips, girl, or we're good to go?
Well, I have actually one more
Okay.
because there are. I love how you talk about power couples
Uh-huh.
because there are couples out there who are moving, let's say, really large amount of money, right? And then it becomes a little bit more tricky because maybe there's a war like, what's going to happen if we're, something happens, how are we going to split it? Is there how to say, clear communication and clear contract, right? In contract, when I say contract, not like a signed one, but
Yeah,
agreement
agreement.
that that's what's going to happen with the money or how the money is moving. So in Sage University, we have a class, many classes, but one of the classes is called the new contract, the new family contract. Okay, it's called something else, but I can't say it here. Okay, if you want to know what it's called, go on the website and you can find out. But in this class, the couples or whoever attends, a woman or a man, are together. They have the opportunity in the period of the how many days the class is. I think it's like 3 or 4 day class, to create a new contract, a new agreement that works specifically for their family, their business, and their money movement. And it's done with inside a safe environment with highly productive coaches, like educated. Well, I wasn't gonna say educated, but more of experienced coaches.
Yeah.
Yes, in family systems and money movement and level of aliveness and where everybody wins in the family. So that's what I wanted to
Uh,
add. Yes. Okay. So thank you so much, Gazal, for taking the lead on this. I love when you talk about family systems, and you as well, Aaliyah. Like, I love the way you create games and with your family, with your children, and the way you play with them, and the way you create drama and you let everybody be the way you are and light each other up with it. That really, really works.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, bye everyone. See you next time.